Cause I don't give a fuck what you say. Yeah, I'ma do shit my way. So you can go kick rocks, I'ma stack bricks up, build what I want to make.
Yo, I got a lot of shit to say, so I'ma do this every day. I'll be writing things until I'm fucking buried in my grave. 6 feet deep under, but my body won't decay. Cause my messages are timeless, so they'll put them on display. Oh yeah, I rap with a certainty, I have a sense of urgency. A message for eternity, for everyone internally. I had some people burning me, but now they fucking learn to see I ain't the one to fuck with, now they looking nervously. And I don't really care what you think of me respectfully. You can kick rocks if you think you're fucking better, see. I will outwork you, turn you to an enemy. Hurt you so bad that you're gonna need some therapy. I got the motherfucking recipe. I've been cooking up hits, I'ma leave a legacy. You'll be looking small when you're standing right next to me. I'm 5'10", bitch, but I'm 10 feet.
Cause I don't give a fuck what you say. Yeah, I'ma do shit my way. So you can go kick rocks, I'ma stack bricks up, build what I want to make. Cause I don't give a fuck what you say. Yeah, I'ma do shit my way. So you can go kick rocks, I'ma stack bricks up, build what I want to make. Yeah, I'ma do it my way.
Coming out with a statement. You really changed, man, all your music and arrangement. You don't know shit, shut your mouth, you can save it. I'm the same dude that got his come up from the basement. 100 songs, 100 weeks, didn't change it. Experiments, development, intelligence, and patience. I'll do it all again, cause I never feel complacent. Let's keep the good vibes, positivity's contagious. I'm never looking back, cause I made a life that's passionate. A college graduate suppressing all his talents, yeah. He found a way to go and change, become an advocate. For taking control of your life, go out and battle. And you think you have a dream, then act on it, get after it, get out your head and fucking capture it. You got one life to master it. Don't give up on your future. We all start losers. We're all late bloomers, gotta struggle through the sewer.
What you say? Yeah, I'ma do shit my way. So you can go kick rocks, I'ma stack bricks up, build what I want to make. Cause I don't give a fuck what you say. Yeah, I'ma do shit my way. So you can go kick rocks, I'ma stack bricks up, build what I want to make. Yeah, I'ma do it my way.
Hey, welcome everyone. How's everybody tonight? I hope everybody's doing well. If you're not doing well, like things start going well, I guess. I don't know. I appreciate everybody for joining us. Please feel free to join in the discussion tonight. Anyone and everyone. I did unblock a few people, so if you were blocked, you may be unblocked. Nobody upset me enough to where I will forever leave them blocked. Okay. I just want to put that out there. I'm just saying, moving forward with the channel. I'm holding no grudges. I'm moving forward with my channel. If you're here, you're here. If you want to chime in, you want to chime in. I am not gonna, based on past BS. I just want to move forward. If you haven't noticed, that's why the change in content and everything. So, let's start tonight. Now, yesterday we talked about quite a few things. We talked about, okay, the reason for that little, the ears on the head, on BJ's head. I actually found a video that, kind of gives a backstory as to why she wears the ears. I thought maybe, this would be a little bit, in case people are wondering why. I did have the reasoning wrong. So I did want to fix that statement. Okay. Let me play that for you.
For saying that these this headband. The reason I was saying that in context, just so y'all are aware, I think I remember, I didn't go back and watch it, but I think what I was saying was I was at this Wim Hof retreat in Spain and I met Wim Hof, the breathing guy. And I wore these headbands because I just like it. That's the truth. I just really like it. But when I was there, people kept asking me over and over, like, why are you wearing that? And the real answer is like, I'm autistic and I like these like girly things and I like these inner child things. It just makes me happy, like the unicorns and the glitter. And like, I just like it. But I just was like telling people anything, right? I'm on vacation in Europe. Like I'm just doing a thing over there. And I told him, I said, is how I communicate with the mothership. It was a joke, right? Like, haha, like I was like, yeah, I put these on and like I get these downloads from the aliens. Like I like this, like I didn't fit in with my family growing up, right? I always felt kind of like foreign, right, to them. And so it was like, I'm an alien, I'm extraterrestrial. It's just a kind of running joke. A lot of my subscribers feel that way. So they took that edit of me talking about that and they put right after, they're like, Lima's going, I don't even know how to respond. Hold on. I don't even know how to respond to any of this because it misrepresents what I do. So, girl, I'm talking about communicating with the mothership, and then the next edit is misrepresenting what I do. It's very confusing to me, but it's fine. It doesn't bother me that they're making fun because it is out of context, a pretty crazy thing for someone to just be saying. It doesn't bother me, and it was a funny edit, but the cohesiveness of the storyline, it wasn't really there.
Okay, so there we have it. It's more or less along the line, you know, because she's autistic, and it just makes her comfortable. And I love it. I think it's awesome. It's cute, and I love her little ears. So, with that being said, we were also discussing the different forms of the way Lima spells her name. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna actually open that up. I actually put it backstage, but I don't think it's going to play well backstage. I think this is it.
We're saying that this headband.
Okay. Nope. Wrong one. Oh, okay. Pause that.
Let's see.
Pause that. I said pause that. Okay. I'm going to close that. I'm going to present this. Okay. Well, where is that screen at? It's like doesn't want to show that screen for some reason. I don't want to invite guests. I want to present my screen, but it won't let me. Here we go. We'll do it this way.
Let's try this one.
Okay. So, hey, Kelly, how are you? Thank you for coming. Appreciate it. All right. So now we were talking yesterday about all the different, like, kind of like weird little spellings that, the way that, Lima spells her name, which, all in itself, it's like, it goes even deeper into that. As I was watching Down the Rabbit Hole earlier today, she found another video that BJ has done on Lima, and, basically, if you're going back and you're like, okay, so for public figures and stuff, you should be able to find like their backgrounds, their high school diploma, or you should be able to look up their high schools and find that kind of information out. However, when it comes to Lima, just 1 second, guys. All right, sorry about that. Chitlins, kids. Okay, so I was saying, you like, it was, said in the thing, even like, you can find like President Trump's background information. You can find like his high school diploma, and any certificates that he may have earned. However, you can't even find Lima's high school diploma. If anybody is knowing in how to possibly maybe find that, if you hop over to Down the Rabbit Hole's latest video on Lima, you and check in with that, get I will, that's not really what I wanted to cover today. I'm interested in case anybody may know how to do the research to find that, but I would direct you over to her video to kind of get it like a background as to what I'm talking about, okay? Because it kind of goes into with all these aliases that she uses that is just a little mind-boggling to many, okay? So like her Alima's sisters are searchable. You can find them in yearbooks. However, you can't find Lima. Lima is nowhere in one.
We're saying that this headband, the reason I was saying that in context.
Nope, wrong thing.
Or should we do this one? Oh, no, that one didn't work. Let's just start here. Okay, here we go. So I added one more thing. Y'all know I can't do a live without doing this 5 times. I edited this video as well. There's edits in here that I did. I'm not trying to say Lima did any of it. Y'all go watch the full video on Lima's channel if you want to see the full video. This one I'm about to address is just a few parts that I feel like can't go unaddressed. I just need to kind of mention them. All right, okay.
Okay, so if you look here, she's already showing us, you know, the different ways that she has already been found spelling her last name. It's such a mind-boggling rabbit hole to go down to try to figure all this out. I haven't found anything really to verify any specific spelling that's properly for the proper thing, but this is what we have.
Only a criminal has that many aliases.
Lima Javremovic, okay?
If you have a bunch of different ways of mispronouncing my name, does not make it a bunch of different aliases. And also, I got married, so my last name changed. Big shocker.
Okay. So what the girl said is, if you have a bunch of different ways of mispronouncing my name, that's not the same thing as aliases. A truce.
But it is. Well, no, not the pronunciation of the ways that you spell your name, or say that the name is said. It's the different ways that you say in like you spell them, you use them. She uses them in many different ways in forms.
Statement, a true statement. I don't know who you is, ambiguous. She could be talking to me, but she could be talking about somebody else. I really do not know. But she's making it seem like because people cannot pronounce her name correctly, which they cannot. I mean, I see the footage. She's correct on that part. Then if people can't pronounce her name, then it must be the case she doesn't have aliases. And that's why I think it's very important people need to learn logic. Because if you learn logic and how the parts of speech work together to make points called arguments, then you will be able to see this stuff clear as day very easily. Some people just naturally good at it too. So she said, just because.
Okay, so she's basically saying just because just 1 second, guys. I'm sorry, it was quiet in here until I pushed. Wouldn't you all know? The second you hit live, everybody's got to come in that door. Anyways, I forgot what I was saying. I'm going to continue on.
Because you have a bunch of different ways of mispronouncing my name doesn't mean I have a bunch of aliases. So I've gone ahead and edited in, for convenience sake, a few pieces of publicly available, I'm not going to call it evidence, but, you know, receipts of sorts. All right, here's Lima on her wedding day. And I don't know what day she got married, okay? But this was posted to her Instagram on December 25th, 2020 or 2021, 2020, I believe, maybe 2021. But it was posted on Christmas Day, okay? Now, it's about to pan down to this marriage certificate that's allegedly in their hand. Y'all can go see this on Lima's public profile. This is not releasing anyone's personal.
Sorry, I forgot I was muted. Okay, so I want, has anybody, okay, she's going to kind of give, I'm sorry that I recorded this on my phone. I tried to get everything ready in time, but I was just running behind and things were going haywire, as you can tell right now with everything else. But I want to say that if she gives a shot of the wedding license that is shown in the wedding photo. My question to you guys is, has anyone seen a wedding license that looked like this? I know that I went through one marriage. I know mine did not look anything like this.
Made as a public profile of a public figure. Now, here we are, zooming in here. I never saw a marriage license that looked like that, where it only takes up 3/4 of the page. I don't know what that's all about. But what I will say is, we've done searches. 3/4 of the page. I don't know what that's all about. But what I will say is we've done searches and we've been unable to confirm that Lima is actually married to Ivan. But listen, who am I? You know what I mean? This is a public investigation. I'm telling y'all what I've been able to find publicly and keeping y'all in the loop on the investigation.
Okay. I just now realized I was muted while saying all of that. So what I was saying that is what he's holding in his hand is like a half a sheet of paper, what looks to be a half sheet of paper. And the marriage license is like the size of a quarter sheet of paper. I know when I got married my first time, it was on a full sheet of paper and it was it had a stamp of certification. I don't know, but I will try to get a better photo, you know, and post it on my community tab for you all to get an idea of it. If there's anything on there that I feel that that needs to be redacted, I will redact and make that legitimate for you guys to see. But just so that way you guys can get a better idea. Sorry that it is so small. Like I said, I was recording on my phone at the time. Sorry.
That's what allegedly purportedly is their marriage license. Moving on. Now remember, where are we in the story? She said, just because you have a bunch of different ways of pronouncing my name doesn't mean it's a bunch of different aliases. Okay, all right. All right, so what we're looking at here is Bam Margera's conservatorship docket in the state of Pinellas County.
I wish I could make this so much
in the state
bigger.
of Florida and Pinellas County. So here we have Lima Takali, T-A-Q-A-L-I, Takali Yevremovich, hyphenated. All right, so sure, that makes sense. If her maiden name is Takali, her last name now, her new married name is Yevremovich, she's going to hyphenate it, Takali Yevremovich. Sure, agreed. I agree with her. It's not, that in and of itself is not an alias, but just
I'll tell you
wait.
what I will do. I'm just going to stop this video here. I will upload the video edited so that way you all can see this and actually be able to see and read whatever she's showing and actually witness it for yourself, all the different names. But I'm sorry, it didn't pan out the way that I wanted it to there. So again, I don't normally like do all this other stuff like this. This is still kind of new to kind of do this. Besides, you know, the few missing people cases or kid cases or people cases that I've done. I'm going to also, I want to, let's see. I also did some research for when it comes to Bam. Bam himself is out of rehab now. From my understanding, he's been out for a while. And this is a recent article done by People Entertainment. This was done on February 15th, 2023. And I was reading through this, and I do see now that his wife, Nikki, has filed for legal separation now, and she cited that the irreconcilable differences as a reason for separation, listing their breakup date as September 14th, 2021. So from 2014, 2021, basically the day he was put into a conservatorship and forced into a rehab center, from that day basically to the date as of February 15, 2023, the separation was on Tuesday. So who knows, almost going on 2 years. She was okay as long as he was inside a rehab center, being married to him, living in his home, living off of his back, off of all of everything around him, but not legitimately around him. But the second he's out and actually and on his own now, she all of a sudden files for divorce, for legal separation from Bam. She says she has put everything she has into trying to get Bam to stay sober and trying to preserve her family. Honestly, I can't say that I agree so much with her statement there. I feel like it's just so much more than that. Um, I don't feel like that. I feel like these his family and her use Bam as a pay piggy. Now, like, I'm no fan of Bam Margera. I'm not. I kind of think he's a douche, to be nice. I mean, but I mean, to each their own. I mean, he can. I don't know. He just isn't my type. I wouldn't be friends with him. But I'm just saying, like, I feel like the more that I have learned and read upon everything, I feel like the more these people have driven him to a state of um psychosis. I guess that would be the best way to put it for myself. It's so crazy. Wait, when did him and Misty divorce? Misty was never with him. It was Nikki. He's nuts, and I couldn't be around him. I'd be a nervous wreck all the time. Yeah, tell me about it. I went. Okay, so like, for like about a week, no, more like a month. Every time I would walk down to work, my coworker would jump out, try to scare the shit out of me, and it worked almost every time, just about every time. Yes, every time. After a while, that gets annoying, like all the pranks or all the jump scares or all that stuff. I would absolutely go insane being around Bam and his jokester self. Now, he's got a great personality, I guess. He's got a great sense of humor. He enjoys all that fun stuff, but I'm okay on all of that. Okay. I ended up cussing out my co-worker one night and being like, you gotta stop doing that because now you're gonna piss me off. But it would just drive me into a realm of craziness. Now my next thing, we're gonna go back to the video we started. He married Misty, like, I don't know, around 15 years ago or something. It was a show about it. Am I misremembering? I don't know. I'm pretty sure it said that Nikki was his first wife. Pretty sure that's what I've read. Then again, the tabloids or the sources out there, can you trust any of them nowadays? I don't know. That's just my honest opinion on that. With that being said, I want to go back to where we were at yesterday. We will pick up where we left off there. And did anybody else happen to look further into the videos or down this rabbit hole during the last day or so? That's my next question. Did anybody else do any other digging? Just 1 second. Okay, just 1 second. I gotta grab my son. Okay, so just 1 second. I have to make sure my son went out to his father. Just 1 second, guys. Is there somebody that can there he is. Leaving. Okay, so it was Missy, not Missy. Okay. I have him. He just went to grab something, I think. Okay, let's do this. Nobody read or looked further into the videos. Okay, that's fine. Let's do this. We are gonna go here. And we're gonna bring this up. CT. Okay. Sorry, guys. I got a few tabs going back here just in case we have time to continue on to the next thing. All right. We're going to go ahead and continue here.
Think she should have somebody step in and make a decision for her to get her off of those drugs. But I don't believe that. I believe that people have the right to personal bodily autonomy. And on those first 2 soft white underbelly videos, Amanda said, I don't want help. I don't need help. But then you get Lima coming in, offering this help. Now,
okay, this is where we were talking about Amanda in her case, and like the whole soft white and underbelly stuff, and the treatment of Amanda. Is this where? Yeah.
Now Amanda's dead. She wasn't dead before she met Lima. We don't know what could have happened in the meantime, but we know for sure.
We're gonna actually jump ahead.
Mental health illness firsthand through
our main goal. My main thing is to look more into Lima Yurkovich.
Loved ones. Oh, this is what I want to show y'all. All right, this shit pisses me off. And I know because y'all already told me that I do have people in recovery and also people who struggle with addiction and substance and all that stuff in my. I know y'all are here, so y'all sound off. Is it possible to experience? Is it possible to live the implications of addiction firsthand through loved ones?
Okay, so she asked this very, very, very important question. Is it possible to live firsthand addiction through loved ones? Now think about it. Firsthand experience is through your own body. That's firsthand. Is it possible to live a firsthand experience of addiction through a loved one? In my opinion, I think this lady's a little whack because, like I was saying, firsthand experience is through yourself. You can't live a firsthand experience through your loved ones. And if anybody else kind of on board here, like with where I'm going with this, it's a little crazy. I haven't heard anything about a conservatorship. Yeah. Well, for a while there, they were claiming him to be like kind of just like gone missing, whatever, blah, 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 blah. Well, it turns out he was in a conservatorship. You missed the first video yesterday where we went over the very beginning of this kind of thing. And it's a hellacious rabbit hole. Of course it is. But it's not like if somebody is going nuts from it, it can make you feel crazy. No. I mean, I understand your opinion of it, but I have to disagree because a firsthand experience is through your own being. Like you're experiencing it yourself. That's not like through you can experience it secondhand through a loved one, a secondhand experience. So you can be on the outside looking in and still have your own experience with the whole addiction thing. You can't just experience it through a loved one firsthand. I don't think. I understand what you mean, but if they can make you believe their delusions, then yeah. Yeah, I guess so. Yeah. I mean, we're going to continue on.
Firsthand, hear me out, y'all. Firsthand through loved ones. How does that work? I've lived. I know how it feels to be a man.
She's basically going to explain to you what I already basically
Lima
went
PhD,
over.
Lima S. No, there's no clinic. It doesn't say she's a social worker. It doesn't say that she is in any way qualified. If you're a mental health expert, wouldn't you put your credentials for that up front? I would think.
Now we're going down the whole path of credentials and stuff. Once again, even find. Sorry, guys. We can't like you can't even find a high school diploma for Lima. You can find one. You can find her sister's graduation thing, yearbooks, and all of that, but you can't find one for her.
But her expertise comes from loved ones having mental health issues. Well, I don't want as somebody who personally struggles with mental health issues, I do not want my loved one to make decisions for me who hasn't gone through that actually firsthand. So she's lying. She's lying. This is a lie. You cannot firsthand experience.
And if you were a mental health specialist and you knew what you were talking about in the mental health field, I just do having what little schooling as an RMA can tell you this. You cannot experience through a loved one a firsthand experience. You have to, it would be a secondhand. This woman is just absolutely absurd.
Something through a loved one. You can experience how it feels to be a loved one. And there is a lot of trauma that can come along with that, especially if that loved one was a parent.
See, now I love BJ. She's so just like outspoken and she says everything so perfectly.
Parent or a caretaker. I'm not minimizing that. I'm using words as they are meant to be used and what the definitions of these words are. You cannot firsthand experience something through.
By the way, anything stated in this video is only my opinions and any other opinions of the subs in the chat. Truth is not defamation.
To someone else. That defies the laws of physics. I'm not bashing Mark. I don't know shit about Mark. I do know that his maybe I haven't received an email back. I'm sure mental health, substance abuse, and addictions. The virtual reality solution targets contributing factors such as trauma, anxiety, depression, and high-risk personality.
Okay, so this is now where they're talking about the virtual reality situations that I was speaking on yesterday. Answer me this. I'll go back and watch from the last video. But is Luam Taylor involved? I'm not exactly sure. Like, I don't know all the players. Cristola, this is like so rabbit hole like that the players is I haven't ran across that name yet myself, but I can't say yes or no. But I'm going to say, like, remember when we were speaking yesterday, we were speaking about the virtual reality stuff. And like the whole thing with her sisters, when I was telling you about the police cam videos. Now I was after doing like the whole research on the whole, with Bam being out, Bam is out. He's not under the conservatorship so much anymore. He actually is out. He's with a girlfriend now. Now, this is where I'm having a hard time deciding where I want to go with this whole thing. Now that we're already looking into it, my guess is the free Bam, he's freed. So there's not really much to go down that line besides, well, now he's he's dealing with court right now because he went home to his castle and he ended up getting into a fight with his brother, and I guess causing his brother to have a ruptured eardrum. He ended up leaving scene. He's now being made to stay in Philadelphia right now, and or wherever he's at. And from what I understand, he's got court and stuff that he has to deal with for that. So we know he's out and he's got a new girlfriend. She looks really pretty. She looks like she holds herself, together well. And actually, he looked, since his release, from what I've seen, he looked at in like his best states. He's looked since his release. So I would like to at least think and hope that things are going a little bit better for him. So I don't want to kind of go down so much of the free Bam side of things. Obviously, we can look a little bit into the Amanda thing, but we can only go so far into it. And, obviously, Amanda has passed. I'm so glad people are reporting on Bam's situation. Yeah, it was an absolute mess. And so like that, what I was saying was like, to understand everything, it's like pick a path and go down that path. I mentioned the sisters, of Yerma or Lima Yurkovich. And again, they were YouTubers. They were famous in ways. They were big YouTubers, actually. They just disappeared. Nobody knows where they're at, or, what's going on with them. That path is also open to go down. I feel like I would still like to go through and commentate on the stuff that BJ has done when it just for like an overview of like what the hell they done to Bam, and to show you like the state of mind that put Bam himself in to make him look to be psychopath, insane, I guess. There's so many different ways to go about this. So I just
in controlled virtual
Just
environments
let me
to
know
form
what
new
you all
behavioral patterns. Bridging the gap between inpatient and outpatient facilities, the VR program offers mobile solutions to help keep patients on track to reduce relapse and the rate of recidivism. Now remember, this is the woman who petitioned to put Bam Margera into a conservatorship.
do remember that I stated yesterday when she filed for the conservatorship, she listed Bam's address as Tranquil Shores address, which is a rehab center. He was not living in the rehab center when she filed for the conservatorship. He was still at home in Castle Bam. So, it's a mess. And do remember, the day after the conservatorship was filed, a month after he sued MTV and I believe it was Knoxville, or if it wasn't Knoxville, then it was I can't even remember his name. It will come to my mind in a little bit. But it was a month after he settled in a lawsuit against them. So he had already settled in a lawsuit against MTV a month prior to this conservatorship being filed. Then his wife, girlfriend at the time, filed for a for custody and child support of the son. Not yet filed for a separation from her husband, because she just did that in February of 2023. She was okay living in his home all that time. Hey, Sally. Hi. How are you? Welcome. Hey, Sabrina.
This is the woman who thanked Bam Margera on her.
Also remember that not only it did Lima make it known that Bam supported her businesses, like her rehab center. She brought it to attention that he was a supporter of her businesses, but then turns around and files a conservatorship over him. And plus, there's so much more that there. She later goes on to say that she is also his health management specialist, meaning she manages all his healthcare stuff.
Business Instagram page for backing her company. And 5 months later, she petitions to put him into a conservatorship, listing his address as a rehabilitation hospital or house. Well, that is very suspicious to me, considering she owns and operates a rehabilitation program. Is this starting to be a little suspicious to anybody yet? Or y'all still standing, Lena?
Meaning, she owns and operates the place and the people she's throwing into these rehabilitation centers. It is
We're only like halfway done.
Fucked.
It is a Lou Taylor conflict of interest. She had Bam Margera backing her company, which to me indicates he was probably using her software, her company. And then less than 5 months later, about 5 months later, he's in a conservatorship with her as the petitioner.
How is this okay? I'm like legitimately asking, did somebody put this into words? Like, how is this okay? Somebody make me think, somebody, like help me understand to make me believe this is okay. I mean, I don't think anybody's going to make me believe that this is okay, because I mean, it's absolutely not okay. If you have a complaint against your conservator, or you have a complaint against the head honcho of the rehab center, who do you go to? Because they're all in one. Like they are all one. You can't go to nobody. There's nobody higher. Dishonesty and recovery don't mix, and tricking and manipulating isn't the way to start a relationship, and no one should be forced into rehab for 18 months. If rehab, he should have had a sober coach. Exactly. But in another, yeah, because he was in there like I can go back and I can get the videos for us today if we want to see it, where he was saying, I watched them earlier. He actually come out saying, you know, he was in the Florida Shuffle. You can Wikipedia, actually. Why don't we quickly do that? Well, Wikipedia, what is the Florida Shuffle? Florida Shuffle. Okay. And a Wikipedia comes up. Let me drop that. We will stop doing that. We will present this. Share screen. What is a Florida Shuffle? Here we go. And here we can look into this. We have a Wikipedia site where it says, let me drink. The Florida Shuffle describes, did it flip over for you guys? No, it didn't. Okay, just 1 second. It did not. So let me see. Oh, there it goes. Okay, the Florida Shuffle describes the recruitment of a drug user with good health insurance to repeatedly attend various rehab centers and sober living houses, which allows the facility to repeatedly bill a patient's insurance company. And Bam was put into this. This is why they were able to keep him for the 18 months that they kept him. They would come up with all these excuses. Like, for instance, I mentioned yesterday, he one time threw a cigarette out his window and they said, oh no, you're not ready to go home yet. You could have caught everything on fire because you did that. They used the fact that he didn't change like his clothes for a few days for a reason why his mental health wasn't all the way there, you know. And I was saying, you know, yesterday, I mean, I even as an adult, you know, okay, I mean, I can wear a pair of pants a couple days, or, you know, not, I wouldn't wear them back to back, but I can wear it one day, wear another pair, and maybe wear the other pair again. I mean, I, as an adult, I'm not dirtying my clothes like that. I'm not. So, in other words, you're saying that somebody could commit me because of that reason? Like, it just doesn't make no sense. Like, to me, it's absolutely bizarre, the things that they did to him. And it's absolutely insane, the fact that they were able to do this to this man. It's not fair to him either, you know. And he's like, I used to jump the fences to get out of there. And, you know, when you got to go to the extent of jumping fences to escape a place that's supposed to be beneficial to your health, there's something wrong with that, okay? At least in my opinion, right? So we'll continue on with that one, in my opinion. All right, so we're getting back to this. Let's see. All right.
Isn't this weird? And as Kale is saying, and Kale, we will be going over this in a whole video. Lima helped to put Amanda in jail and then in a court-ordered rehab stay. That was not consensual. Amanda did not.
Yes, because Amanda, if we think back, because now we're jumping over to the white underbelly, the white soft white underbelly channel, where they did the, remember, we're talking about her, the Amanda, where they were doing case studies on her over there. And Lima was a part of those documentaries. Amanda was scheduled to get out of jail. She was set to be released. But yet somehow here comes Lima marching in, and she's able to get this guardianship. She tried for a conservatorship, failed at the conservatorship, and won over a guardianship. So to put Amanda into her rehabilitation centers. Later, to move her from, I believe it was Skid Row, California, or whatever, I believe, into a Nevada rehab center, where she later dies.
Not admit herself into that rehab. They brought her from jail, which Amanda happily admits on the video. Hold on, I got it listed here. Hold on, I'll tell y'all. The update on November 1st, 2020 on Soft White Underbelly. It says that it was a very expensive rehab treatment. Amanda had been in there for 3 months, but they said that they had put her in there by court order. And guess who else was helping out? Amanda's dad, Jamie Spears. It's the same. The family is usually involved. But just wait.
So they basically go to the extent of involving this family to getting the family on board of this whole thing. And I mean, not so much in Amanda's case was it like a beneficial kind of reciprocal give and take kind of relationship for her, but in Bam's case, his family is getting the win. His parents had control of his money since the day he started making the money. It was all deposited into his parents' account. He never had his own bank account until he had met Vinny, which is later on down the line in the videos. You'll learn about that. But Vinny says, no, dude, you need to stop letting your parents have control of your money, and you need to open your own bank account. He's like, well, I don't even know how to do that. Like, Bam, okay, so Vinny gives the example. He had a brand new HD TV or whatever it was, one of the newer TVs that came out. He lost the remote, couldn't find the remote, nowhere to find the remote. And it just sat there, not able to be turned on because nobody knew how to turn the damn thing on. So Vinny's like, well, why don't you just go down to the drugstore and buy a universal remote? And he's like, oh, you can do that? Will that work? And Vinny's like, well, yeah. So it's like he's there, but he's not all the way, fully there. I mean, you got to think this guy has had how many hits to the head throughout his years of Jackass? I mean, that we all know through the series of Jackass. I mean, there's several blows to the head that he's taken. And imagine all the ones off camera when he's doing his skating stunts and skating stuff, So he's not all the way like educationally smart there. I want to put it the best way, the nicest way possible. He's just not all the way smart, book smart. But it's simple things like this where they are now removing him from the picture, from his home where his mom lives, his dad lives, his brother lives, his wife lives, and all these other people live, that are just there living off of him and off of his money, while he's got to be sitting a stint of 18 so many months in a rehab center, being bounced back and forth and being told that even though his time is coming close to being done, they find a way to keep him in there.
All right.
So sick.
So there's big money in this. This is poor Amanda. Rest in peace.
Okay, so look, this is a GoFundMe. 1 year mental health treatment for Amanda, $37,156. A goal of $250,000. If this is just one person's The Aurora program is supposed to be affordable. Remember that when we went over that yesterday? Aurora program was an affordable program for rehab. That's what Lima put in one of her statements. Cristola Bam said he's paid over 100,000. Oh no, it was way over that. Try 600 and like 30,000. I think that was the last number that I heard that him state out there is 630,000 in rehab costs. That's how much the rehab has taken off of him. Now, we're going to later find out that in Amanda's case, Lima is going to start talking about how she's finding it hard, but according to, okay, sorry, I'm jumping around. When we go back to the rehab thing with Bam, according to Lima and Bam's family, Bam never paid that amount. That Lima did that for him and paid that out of her own pocket. But we're going to also find out that Lima, when it came to Amanda's care, couldn't even afford Amanda's care of $250,000. Do remember that that Amanda wound up deceased. It's all really sketchy to me. And how the hell Lima supposedly was able to afford Bam's care of $630,000 when she couldn't afford the $250,000 for Amanda's care is outrageous. Because she obviously had to put up a GoFundMe, and she was out here upset in saying that she couldn't afford anything anymore. That she actually had to go take out loans. We're gonna learn about that later on through the line too. It's such a whirlwind of mind-blowingness. Is that even a word? Mind-blownness. But yeah, it's so crazy that just you can't even wrap your head around.
100% of the proceeds. This is a GoFundMe, which has raised. It had a $250,000 goal, and they raised $37,000. Here's Lima's words right here. Now I do anticipate all this stuff is going to start getting taken down, so I'm glad I'm archiving it here. 100% of the funding goes to Giving.org to pay the hospital's health insurance.
Oh, that's right. Wasn't there like a property? Yes, they did do a property sale of Bam's that was for that amount. Yes, that's what you're probably thinking of. They did sell one of Bam's properties. Yes.
Medical expenses, doctors, and clinical fees. Well, that is all Lima. Lima's paying those people because she looked like she was the one who helped to traffic this poor woman into a court order.
Mind you, they sold that property when Bam went into the rehab center. So how did they get Bam's signature on the paperwork to even sell that property? I wonder if anybody looked down that hole to find out.
Rehab stay where she literally lost her life. She was out on Skid Row. She wasn't dead. She comes into Lima's care. Now she's dead. Lima, Mark, and the Aura team are donating their time and services to this cause and will not receive any of the funds. Okay. I wonder if Lima receives any of the funds from the hospital pay, or if she receives any of the health insurance money for her self-proclaimed technology that she's saying that Amanda will use. You see what I mean? They lie to our faces. Lima will not receive any money from this. Okay, but what about the health insurance payments that are going to her?
You know dang well that Lima was receiving some type of funds from this. Now, whether she was making that so public, or, even when she came out with this whole, we can't afford this, blah, blah, blah. And then that's when they started the GoFundMe situation. That this is all just so crazy to think about. He was probably doped out of his mind and signed. Here's the thing. When it comes to that, Cristola, said out of Bam's mouth himself, when he entered that rehab, they put him on more drugs inside that place than he was on the outside of that place. Make that make sense?
her program? Is she going to receive that because she's the founder of it? What about the payments that are going to go to the Yevremovich Institute of Behavioral Health? Do you think the founder of Yevremovich?
We're going to jump ahead a little bit.
Well, we got $37,000 here, and this is not their only GoFundMe. This is a GoFundMe. Then you got this one right here, another website. This one has now.
So here we got another GoFundMe.
This one has raised $8,300. So that's now more than $40,000 just that we can easily see. We changed Amanda's life. Well, Amanda's life is over. And showed the world that no matter how far you have sunk into.
And at the time of all this going on, mind you, these GoFundMes, obviously she's looking at it after Amanda's passing, but these GoFundMes and these like money grifts, whatever you want to call them, they're still up and active.
To your mental illness or addiction. Recovery is possible, and then you can die from undescribed causes that nobody can really figure out.
How are you having these active GoFundMes for somebody that's already deceased?
Y'all, we're going to go into Amanda's cause of death on a future video, and it is terrifying.
To help with the treatment.
Once we meet our goal of $250,000, which they were able to probably raise a lot of this money because they were featured on a channel that has a huge platform on 13 videos. Once we meet our goal, we're going to open up the application and let anybody in need of financial assistance and treatment to apply to our rehab where we force people into by court order. Are y'all feeling like a little like that feeling in your gut about this yet? Like, ooh, this is something.
You remember, according to Lima's own diagram on her own webpage, it's either jail or rehab. That's what the decision that she gives these people: jail or rehab. Either I'm going to call somebody and send you off to jail, or you're going to go with me to rehab. When you're in the state of addiction, you're not fully thinking properly. You're like, I don't want to go detox in jail. I'd rather go to some place where there's a comfy bed, or whatever, and to rehab, whatever that may be. You may pick rehab. However, do remember, BJ is a lawyer. She says, I'm not giving anybody illegal advice, and neither am I. But I'm going to tell you, I side with BJ on this whole side right here. If you're ever thrown into the shades of this whole scenario, never go into rehab, because they can take everything from you. Phone, your music, they can take everything from you and not give you any contact of the outside world, which is what they've done to Bam. You can't even contact your lawyers on the inside of the rehab. At least when you go into the jails, you have your rights still. You're still able to have your rights to contact your lawyer, to still have control of your own life. If you just automatically jump into this rehab center, you could be signing away everything for all you know and not even knowing it.
Maybe I didn't realize that it was this.
BJ has taught me a lot.
So let's look into Aura. What is it? Meet Aura. Agreed. All right. In any way, we have not even been told that Lima has personally experienced, like someone where to start one. She's never been in one of these hospitals, but yet without a degree, without a license that we know of, she is doing all of this work with people, forcing them into rehab against their will, filing to put them into conservatorships in states that they allegedly don't live in.
Okay. So all of this is just done without any verifiable licenses, any verifiable certificates, anything, even for the mental health, like medical parts. Nothing. There's nothing out there to state that she has any kind of certifiable certificates.
She's not qualified to be doing this. Where are her qualifications? So where are the doctors who are making these decisions, and who are they? Bobby said, I have chills. I watched all of Amanda's videos. And when they tried to bring Lima on and her demeanor, I knew she was evil. I wrote not to do a conservatorship. Okay. She's not an addict. So what makes her qualified? And that's what I'm wondering. Listen, like
she doesn't have any of, I understand where that comment comes from. She doesn't have any past trials or tribulations with addictions or mental health problems. So, and no medical or educational backgrounds in this field. What makes her qualified to do this? What makes her even qualified to just pick some okay, so you mean to tell me, as me, with what little bit of educational qualifications I have, I can just open up a facility and just go down any some random path and everything's gonna be okay? Like, it's all right? I don't think that's how things work. How is this woman getting away with all of this for so long? It's crazy that the roots of Sabrina Speakeasy says, it's crazy that the roots of conservatorship laws are based on the laws of slavery. Yes, this is a huge issue for addicts and disabled adults. Anyone can just take your rights away. Exactly. And that is one thing that BJ is fighting for, against, is she's trying to stop this from being able to happen like this. Saying, it's not okay that you can just move in on somebody's rights. Besides the whole supporting of the business, did she even know Bam to just file all these random paperworks to take conservatorship over her or over him? And we know that Amanda was picked off of Skid Row. She didn't know her. She was just the lucky winner because her father agreed to play a part in this whole scenario with them. So it basically, but she didn't know her from Tom, Dick, or Harry. It's just like you could just pick some random person off the streets and just say, hey, I'm now going to own you and your mental health because I'm going to say you're screwed. It's so crazy because the rehab, and Sabrina Speakeasy says, so because the rehab industry is unregulated, they get away with murder. Like, in my IOP, we watched a random movie about addiction almost every week. That's curriculum. It's totally BS. I feel you. I feel you right there. I'm right there with you.
If she had spent her life studying this and had qualifications, we might have to just let her start these rehab centers. If she had spent any time in a rehab center, maybe we should listen to her expertise. But this lady is just saying, well, my loved ones had mental health, so now I'm going to create a virtual reality that intentionally triggers people with PTSD, and then they're going to die in my rehab. So,
okay, maybe she didn't say all of that, but no, it's basically inpatient or intensive. Oh my God, intensive outpatient rehab. Yes. Okay. Thank you for clearing that up for me. I was a little confused on that.
So, like, that's where we are with this. And she filed to put Bam Margera into a conservatorship and was successful because he is in a conservatorship. Okay. Virtual wellness tools.
At the time of this video, he was in a conservatorship. Do remember, we're back in time right now. We took a trip with the DeLorean,
And they use all these stock images. Virtual wellness tools, no diversity. She has a black woman locked up who died under her care. But look at you don't see any black women being used to advertise here. Why? Now, some of y'all have taught me a lot about medication-assisted treatment. And I'm not an expert. Every time I try to talk about this, I say something wrong. So I'm going to try to tread carefully here. Medication-assisted treatment is, from what I understand, y'all, I'm not an expert. Please Google it. If you know better than me, comment below, sound off. But medication-assisted treatment is used, from what I understand, by people in clinical settings that have substance abuse, like chemical dependency issues.
And they use them medications to help further in the course of rehab. My question is where does she get the rights to prescribe these, or like to state that, or even administer them? Because you have to have certain licenses in certain areas or certain states to even administer certain medications. But you can't find any of this out there on her. Like, again, no certifications, not even a high school diploma.
And there's like certain medications like methadone and Suboxone. And buprenorphine and stuff like that, which can be used to help people who have chemical dependencies physically to the drug to wean off or to just to be used in their sobriety or their recovery journey. Okay, hopefully that was the gist and that was correct. Okay. So what I find interesting is Lima is advertising such type of a treatment. So are there doctors in her treatment facility?
Now, once again, even if there is a chance that there's a doctor or doctors that work in her facilities with these capabilities, I would hope that these doctors are looking into the whole realm of who they're working for, or like the company itself, like what's going on with the whole inner workings of it, like all of that. It's such
facility or in these treatment facilities who are participating in medication assist. And
okay, we're gonna
this is how
go through
or
this. We're gonna
sometimes
speed up a
need
little
places to kind
bit. We're gonna kind of
of
jump through
of millions of people and say, oh, we're going to help. And a volunteer coordinator
okay,
for the
so now this is on another one of Lima Yurkovich's sites where there's a biography on her here. Now she's going through and she's showing you again the not only like the different qualifications that Lima says she has, but like the different how she's tied to different parts of this whole, I don't know, scandal. That's what I'm going to call it. I'm going to say it's a scandal. In my opinion, it's a scandal.
educational content development. Okay, that sounds impressive. I don't know what it means, but it doesn't say that she's an expert in any mental health fields.
Okay, we're going to go back a little bit. Here we go.
Take the thousands of dollars that people are donating from the goodness of their heart into our organizations, into our practitioners, and then we're going to let her die. Then we're going to cry and read her autopsy on a video to get more views. And then we're going to use her story to say that it was a success and continue to get more thousands of dollars from these millions of subscribers.
Mind you, because the GoFundMe's and the pay pools, they were still active at the time that BJ started investigating this stuff. So it's so convoluted and such a deep whirlwind of, in my opinion, fuckery.
The California Transhumanist Party has a lady with a wig. With a wig. I mean, who are these people? Like, are these even real people? Again, I don't know what the Transhumanist Party is. I did not look it up.
So I don't know if anybody knows anything about the transhuman policy or party. If any, I don't know. I suppose I'm gonna screenshot this because I'm gonna look into this place. I want to know what this place is later on. Probably after the live, I will further look into all of that. Okay. So I may come back on more information into this California Transhuman Party. Okay. We're going to continue.
Read Lima's bio on this one. Founder of the Jibs, we already knew that. A mixed reality experience designer specializing in cinematic virtual reality and stereoscopy with a focus on immersive educational content development. Okay, that sounds impressive. I don't know what it means, but it doesn't say that she's an expert in any mental health fields.
But on the other biography, she was a specialist in the mental health fields. So when do you lose that qualification, like along the way, or when is it not important anymore when you're putting out your bios? Like even if you gain an educational background in something, you would add that to your already existing bios. So why is this not happening?
It doesn't say she's a doctor. It doesn't say that she has mental health expertise. She's a virtual reality designer, which is, listen, y'all, it's cool. Don't get me wrong. Like, what she's working on is cool. My problem is that she's petitioning to put people in conservatorships and she's making thousands of dollars off of people who didn't consent to be under her care. And so that's why I'm saying, why is she able to do that? Where are we at here? Why is she able to do that if her expertise is just virtual reality? Like, are we in the metaverse already where
It's so mind-boggling. And it's absolutely crazy. Do remember about this VR stuff, because I feel like when it comes, if we, which I may go further looking into the whole sister thing, and show you guys the body cams and stuff like that of Dahlia, probably, you know, within the next couple of videos. I want you guys to hear the things that Dahlia states to the police, and how everything she states to these officers is kind of like brushed off, you know, because, oh, well, she's got DID. She's mentally incapacitated, you know, she's not all the way there. So they just kind of brush it off like it's nothing. But you go back and you do this research on who is said to be their older sister, and the things that she's in this, the institutions that she's running, and the things that she does to the people in the institutions, the virtual reality, I feel like, thing is going to come into play and maybe make a little bit more sense. Yeah.
You're just real good at creating virtual reality that you're a doc. Like, I don't get it. Someone explain it to me. Like I'm a 5-year-old. Cybersecurity and privacy are two major concerns in virtual reality applications, especially when it comes to healthcare and patient data security, which is why.
Remember when we were stating yesterday about the telecommunications that you have to, in order for like legitimate health practitioners, they have to use a telecommunications, like a network that is lockdown safe for like FaceTime, Zoom meetings, and stuff like that. Obviously, FaceTime isn't one of those. It's not safe. People can tap into that. They can get the medical histories. You have to use a telecommunications application that is locked down and secured. So that way, when you're in your meetings with your practitioners, it is safe for you guys to have your conversations, to divulge the information back and forth. Or otherwise, just regular FaceTimes, like Bam claimed he was doing with a practitioner. I'm doing air quotes, by the way, for one of his therapists, air quotes again. He claimed to be doing the FaceTime. That is not a safe, that's not a safe thing to be doing. Just a regular, anybody could have got into that, which leads the question, was it a real therapist that he was speaking to?
I know that when Bam is saying he had to FaceTime someone, either that was not HIPAA compliant or he was using one of these telemedicine apps like Lima created. Because cybersecurity and patient data security are so important. We do know that. She is the founder and the editor-in-chief, so she just be founding stuff to make her, I guess, look important. I don't really know. Of Moof Monster Tech, sharing her insight on virtual reality, I don't know what AR is, software applications, top-rated hardware, cybersecurity, information security. Previously, she was a health promoter. Well, that's still not a professional. That's a marketing person. And a volunteer coordinator for the Canadian Blood Services and cancer research assistant at MD Anderson Cancer Center. Okay, so that's the
So that is, here she's basically stating that she's a promoter of a cancer center and the workings of cancer. Where does that mental health part or the rehab part come into play? Like, none of this makes any sense. Where is her licenses that give her the right to do what she's doing?
Closest to a scientific background that I've been able to ascertain from her at all.
Opinion,
that she was a research assistant, a cancer research assistant at MD Anderson Cancer Center. Integrating what she learned from both sides of these opportunities to concentrate on patient accessibility to healthcare. Again, these are all great things, but what does it have to do with her having the expertise to file to put somebody in a conservatorship? She holds a bachelor's degree in political science, so nothing to do with mental health and government, from Carleton University of the Guelph. I don't know where that is. Should we look that up? That's probably what I would do. So,
okay, so she looks up where the Again, I will be dropping the witnesses, the surprise witnesses links in the chat. I'm gonna jump ahead a little bit to another little excerpt.
Aura, and now she's being called Lima Yevremovich.
Okay, so here she's now Lima Mora. Do y'all see the name change? Same photo, same person. Now she's a Lima Mora. She's also known as Lima Tequila, Lima Yurkovich, Lima Tequila Yurkovich, and Lima Mora. Again, these are all aliases that she uses. It's who is she? Where's her degrees? Where's her certificates? What gives her the right to do what she's doing? What gives her the right to practice the mental health field that she's practicing in? This is so I'll never be able to understand.
Has lived through the implications of severe mental health illness firsthand through loved ones. Okay, so then again, you haven't lived through it if it's through loved ones.
Firsthand through loved ones.
I am not trying to
Again.
take, I have addicts in my family, okay? I'm not trying to take away that. Just being a family member of someone who is addicted.
Okay, we're going to
The Yevremovich Institute of Behavior and Brain Sciences was bloomed from a desire to create tools to improve mental health care. That's great. I have no problem with Lima creating tools to help people. My problem comes in when she forces people by court order to use her tools. Do you see what I mean? How it's kind of Lou Taylory a little bit?
What gives her the right to even force people to use her tools or to be a part of her research? I mean, what gives her the right to pick certain people to be her guinea pigs, basically?
Do y'all see how it's a little conflicty? That Bam Margera was backing this woman, and 5 months later, she petitioned to put him into a conservatorship. Do y'all think that's weird? Do y'all think it's a little weird?
I find it highly weird. Very highly weird.
Mixed, okay. Research and innovations and make those tools available globally to all who need them. Fine. I'm fine with that. I would even donate money to that. No problem with that. I think it's cool. I think it's great. I love that she's using that part of her expertise to possibly create tools that would help people. The problem is she's overreaching, in my opinion. And she's using Soft White Underbelly as a platform to advertise for this business. She had to come and read the autopsy.
Which isn't for when I feel okay, so in my own opinion, her jumping on to Soft White Underbelly's platform and using his subscribership to reach all these people to promote her doings isn't a wise decision, in my opinion, for Mark.
Autopsy report to explain it away. A mixed reality experience designer, so not a mental health expert. She's an expert because she had loved ones with severe mental health illness. Can y'all imagine, y'all who I'm talking, how much million whatever dollar thing, like based on your that has
Okay,
severe.
we're gonna jump ahead a little bit.
See, they use these buzzwords. Free Britney America did a very similar thing. They use these buzzwords, and it's just like, oh yeah.
So here in the second paragraph, she basically states that Mora specializes in digital health. She's well known in the tech community for her speaking engagements and role as an ambassador for bridging innovative technology with health care and providing insight on emerging markets of VR, AR, and artificial intelligence. Again, where's her background in any kind of like form of the mental health compartment of this whole thing? To put somebody, in my opinion, in Amanda's circumstance, to throw her into a virtual reality like simulation could be harmful, not only to her mental capacities, but like in all things. It could absolutely trigger all kinds of things to go wrong in the brain, mentally. That could just be fucked, you know? As for right now, I'm going to go ahead. I'm trying to keep these lives at a decent, at least an hour and a half kind of length. We will obviously be back to continue further into this. I'm going to drop her BJ's the surprise witness link. Please do go check her out. I also have it in my first live from yesterday. If you haven't checked that out, I do recommend you go back and check that out. There were some nice discussions going on there. If you're interested in furthering this rabbit hole with me, I'm going to try to make this a thing to go over with y'all all. I hope to see you all again and again soon. I'm not going to give you a date because I do return to work tonight. So just watch. These lives, like today, I tried to schedule with much notice. So just keep out an eye on the notifications or lives for scheduling. I'm going to try to keep up on a further advanced notice other than the half hour that I normally give, if I give that. So with that being said, I do appreciate you all being here. Thank you to Cristola, my mom that showed up, Jet's mom, Kelly B, Sabrina Speak Easy. Thank you for stopping in. Crafting with Sally Ann, you too. And I think I named everybody that kind of joined me today. Thank you. I appreciate you all for joining me. Again, stay loyal, stay true. Don't be fucked like this one. Stay you. Love you. Bye.
And I don't really know what comes next. I'm just doing my best, even though I'm so stressed out. Everything just feels like a test that I fail, so depressed when I can't seem to get out.
But something deep inside won't let me quit. I swear that I'm inspired by all this shit. Tell me that I can't and I won't. That's what guides me the most. Fuck your lies, I'll do what I want. The gas in the back, never leave. She's so bad, can't make the bag. The gas in the back, never leave. She's so bad, can't make the bag. The gas in the back, never leave. She's so bad, can't make the bag. The gas in the back, never leave. She's so bad, can't make the bag.
I'm inspired by thirst, I'm inspired by worth. I desire your worst, so you can just hide while I work. I ain't tired, you first. I'll write a second, third verse about the lies you go disperse. You never did shit, I know it hurts.
Something deep inside won't let me